was born in Greece, Sparta. Came here with my family, my father, my mother, my sister. In 1966, we settled in Washington Heights. You know, at the time, back in the 60s, there was a lot of Greeks there. Basically, we struggled throughout life, you know. I didn't even have a bicycle. My father couldn't afford to buy me a bicycle. So at the age of, I would say about 14, I got my first job delivering meat in a supermarket cart. I worked for miles just to make 50 cents. Then I wanted to go to the to become a cop. I
want to be a cop.
Didn't pass the test.
You gotta be kidding me.
So you're not taking the cop
But I
test
did
no
pass the
more?
state trooper's exam. So while waiting online to go to the academy, I got a job at this armored truck company in the meantime. From there on, you know, you learn the ins and outs. They just very lax security. So one thing leads to another, a bag missing here, a bag missing there. Obviously, you know, everybody's helping themselves. At the time, you think it's a lot of money, you know, and so on and so on. And being that we were poor and this would change your life completely, I decided to take a chance and do what I did. At that point, I was 22 years old. Well, the security was there. It was just the procedures. What they did is, for example, the truck that was parked outside with $40 million, it wasn't supposed to be that way. And just that alone, you know, sitting there and watching all this, it's tempting because you say to yourself, here I am, I could do something and never have to work again in your life. And that's exactly what I did. You know, I took a chance. How the planning started was for us to go in back of the truck and open the doors somehow and fill up a van and take off. You know, I would have provided my friends with keys. All they had to do is go up in back of the truck, pull out some bags, fill up the truck, and take off. Or if that didn't work, plan B, I would say, would be to take the truck, the whole truck, $40 million, and just take off with it. So what happened to that plan was one night I went to work, and there was a stakeout by the FBI. And that spoiled the plan because now they're not parking the truck outside anymore. So, and that stakeout was caused by somebody else. Another crew, coincidence, were planning to do the same thing. Once you have your mind set up on doing something, you just have to figure another way. And we all decided, and I decided as well, of course, obviously, if it wasn't for me, nobody could have come in, but I decided that it would be a good idea to make a hole in the roof. And keep in mind, you know, when you see the movie, you see a guy coming in through the roof. It wasn't just like that.
What are you, fucking crazy?
The way we made it happen was we made a hole in the roof and came in on another part of the building. So it's not just, you know, coming in through and you couldn't see the guy coming in. No, it was done more organized. We had police scanners, we had walkie-talkies, we bypassed alarm systems. It was sophisticated. It wasn't just, you know, this dumb crew that couldn't shoot straight, you know, just went and picked up, you know, $11 million. It was a little more than that.
It's been reported that over $9 million were taken in last night's heist.
There was 4 of us. And 2 waited in the van that night. One guy was up in the roof, and it wasn't Eddie, the way it appears in the movie, but it was another guy in the roof that made the hole. And when he finally went down to the money room and did what he had to do, I notified the other 2 guys to come in, and that's what really happened. One guy brought in the other guy, and it was a kind of family. I brought in Eddie, Eddie brought in his cousin, and then his cousin brought his cumbaro. They were all Greek, and they're all Spartans. We did something. Do I regret doing it? Yes. At the time, though, you didn't think of the consequences. Now, getting to how we get arrested is his cumbaro backed out, and we pull off this heist, and then obviously the FBI starts following us and this and that. His cumbaro starts getting nervous. Now keep in mind, he never took part in it. He only knew about the planning, he knew about everything. So the feds are following us, and then I guess they zeroed in on him. By following George, the feds figured that he's hiding something. There's 2 months already have gone by and there's no arrests. So what they do is they arrest him, put him in a lineup, and then now they have a witness that picks him up out of a lineup that he was there that night. It's impossible. That never happened. And he knew that, but I guess at that point he got scared or whatever it is, he gave everybody up. And that's how we all get arrested. I get arrested in Puerto Rico. I was there with my girlfriend at the time. She was Puerto Rican, so I went there on vacation with her for 1 week. Also keep in mind, if he didn't talk for another week or so, the top executives get arrested a week later after he talked. So I'm not saying that, you know, we would have gotten away with it, but at least some of the heat would have been off us and onto them. So there was a good possibility if this guy didn't talk, because he's the only person that could have put us in the conspiracy. And the rest is history. We went on a 2-month trial, and actually I got convicted of 55 years. But the way it works, the system, the way it works is the judge will sentence you on certain counts consecutive and certain counts concurrent to whatever he gave you. So I got a maximum of 15 years. I've been to the worst and I've been to the best. Okay? I've been to a country club. That's the best. But I've been to the worst. I hadn't seen daylight for about a year. I didn't know what time of day it was. The only way I went about it is if they gave me breakfast, eggs, I figured it's breakfast. It's not pleasant. It's not pleasant, and do I regret it? I do regret it. But like I said, you know what? You live, you learn, and you move forward with it. That's all I could do at this point. Does jail rehabilitate you? In my opinion, no. It's up to you to do what you think is right while you're in prison. I decided to go through college. I got my bachelor's degree, correspondence with Ohio University. Other people decide they don't want to do nothing with themselves. The hard part is really when you're coming out. When you come out, you can't find a job. Nobody wants to hire you. Nobody wants to do anything, because now you have to fill out a form. Have you been convicted of a crime? And once you sign that form, yeah, you have been convicted of a crime. I don't think anybody wants to hire you. So it makes it hard for that convict to come out and be a law-abiding citizen. It just doesn't allow that. So it pushes you to go back into crime. That's not the case with me. I was fortunate, you know, when I came out, I got married, I have 3 kids. I have a business, but it's not always the case. No, I wasn't thinking of making a movie when I was in jail, but when I did came out, it was just being with people. Some people said, why don't you make a movie? And that gave me an idea. Why don't I make the movie? Empire State, the way it came down is we had a friend in Hollywood introduced us to a writer, which is Adam Mazer, and from there it's history. Liam Hemsworth played me. I think he did an outstanding job. Mike Angarano as well. I think personally, I think he stole the movie. The Rock, great guy. Christy Amandopoulos, a sweetheart. Emma Roberts, Nikki Reed. I was fortunate enough to meet these people. They're great people. The reason I made the movie is because I wanted it to show that people make mistakes in life and you pay for them. I'm not proud of what I did, but at the time, when you're young, you're not thinking straight, you do crazy things.